What's up, Lions fans? It's your boy King, man. Listen, it's been a full day. Gave everybody some time to cool down. Got through our 97.1 The Ticket on the radio, listening to that. My God. Twitter, Facebook, whatever you can think of, man. Everybody was letting raw emotion out. And that's totally understandable, coming from where we've been over the last couple of years. But the thing about it is, there's been some narratives pushed out there that I really don't like. Before we get into this video, I just want to say this. You have to understand. Yesterday was your preseason. Yesterday was your preseason game.
I need more energy.
That's what that was. Everything that I seen out there on film,
You help me?
All-22 I watched today twice.
I need more energy.
Everything I saw is fixable.
There's always a
Some are going to take a little bit longer than the other, but everything that I saw was really fixable.
Can you help
And I'm talking about next game adjustment fixable.
more energy? There's
We're going to look
always a
through some of the narratives. We're going to talk through them. I'm not going to take too much of y'all time, so let's get into it. All right, so first and foremost, narrative one, Aiden Hutchinson. There's been a lot said on social media, especially in Twitter, about Aiden Hutchinson. Not having more tackles than Jack Fox, little things like that. Listen, man, in the National Football League, there's a chance that the other team is a little bit smarter than fans think they are. Green Bay did an excellent job game planning for Aiden Hutchinson. Just like some of us small group fans realize that Detroit, we don't really have a serious pass rush. And they schemed perfectly around that fact. So, there's a lot of people that just don't want to grasp that for some reason, but we just don't have that. And this is what everyone's hollering about. So when you look at the film, Aiden Hutchinson in one-on-one situations did a pretty good job. Still display his power, still display his speed with his hand movement. He did a really, really good job in one-on-one situations. The problem was, in those situations, they got the ball out extremely fast. And they were very seldom. You seen more chipping, more double teams. I even seen Aiden Hutchinson get tackled one play and they didn't even call it. I've seen 3 guys thrown at this man, all in just this one game. And they just did a brilliant job, man. You just got to give Green Bay credit. They did a brilliant job. That's what NFL teams are going to do when they see you lacking something. We don't have a Lynn McNeil back yet. Tyleik Williams did a really, really good job as a rookie, though. Let's just make that known. Did a really, really good job. I was really, really impressed. He looked like what we drafted him for in game one. It's a little bit easier on the defensive side of the trenches to be yourself than it is on the offensive side. We'll get to that in a second. But we don't have a Lynn McNeil back. We don't have a guy that pushes up the middle. So you're not getting that push that you want. And then, like I said, with Davenport on the other side, same story. Even though he still got in the backfield a couple of times, they got that ball out of there. They got that ball out, man. They were really decisive in what they wanted to do. They attacked us in the middle of the field over and over again. The defense that we ran just pissed me off just watching film. I don't want to see any more single man high with Kirby Joseph. I don't want to see this man-to-man coverage being abused like we did yesterday. We don't have the personnel for that. You do not have that option to keep doing that. And then when you're not getting nothing from the 4-man rush, it kind of forces you into doing it. So it's just like, It's tough. It's tough, man. Watching the defensive side of the ball it still was fixable though. These things are fixable because you can find ways to get a little creative and try to dial up some pressure once these guys get going. Again, this was their preseason. And like I said, I just wanted to speak to the narrative that Aiden Hutchinson went out there and had some type of bad game. When you look at it on PFF, he had a better game than Parsons did. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that he wasn't able to get home because the Packers know how to get the ball out fast. Us, on the other hand, that's a different story. Terrion Arnold, another narrative being pushed out there. Terrion Arnold is dealing with an injury. And when he tweaked this injury yesterday, you notice the movement, the slowdown immediately. He has, he had a really good game up until that point. Some pass breakups, man, broke up a touchdown. And then, the big play came and everybody was like, oh my God. He's Darrelle Revis or somebody, you know what I'm saying? And then with the other touchdown, let's take a look at that right quick. So on this other touchdown right here, this is obviously a pick play that should have been called, because after it happened, he just stood there and he looked so obvious like he did something wrong, and they didn't throw the flag, bro. It didn't look like he was trying to block anything. It was a pick play. But when you running that coverage like we are over the top, hey, guess what? Wide open run to the corner for a touchdown. That's just how it works, man. So, like I said, when you slow things down and start to watch the film and look at the scheme that we're doing and look at all the moving parts, it looks a whole lot different from when you see a highlight or two on social media. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I tell people all the time, man, if you can afford that little $6.99 or $14.99 a month, go ahead and get it, man, on NFL Network, the NFL app, man, and get into them all-22s if you're a real football fan like that. I know a lot of people are just casuals. They just want to watch the game and cheer for the team. That's the norm. But if you really like digging in football, get it. It's worth it, man. So, but yeah, Terrion, to me, like I said, he had his good moments before he tweaked the injury. I just wish he would have just said, hey, man, listen, I done tweaked my groin. I'm sitting down. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out there and try to play because you're hurting your team by doing that. So, but that's just what it was on the defensive side of the ball, man. Tyleek played solid. Davenport was okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Packers were just smart when it came to handling that D-line up there. Our linebacker room, like I said, they just got picked on. And then, like I said, the secondary, the best player out there on the field, period, on the defense was Brian Branch yesterday. So, had his pick six taken away. Anzalone, you got to catch that ball. So, but that's pretty much what I seen on the defense, man, when I looked at these clips. Like I said, we're going to look at a few more of them tomorrow night on Lions Roundtable, but yeah. Now, to the offensive side of the ball. Tough time for the Rook, man. Ratledge, lowest ranked guy in the NFL yesterday. Offensive line. Looked like a true rookie out there at right guard. I'm talking about just looked lost and confused at times, man. Blocking his teammates. Leaving guys just running Olay right up the middle. We could have had a safety against us, man, with Montgomery. I know you guys have seen that clip over and over. There's no need for me to show you. Yeah, it was a bad day for Tate. I feel bad for him. When you only play for a minute in preseason, and like I said, those are not the guys that you're going to be playing with. That's not the first unit. But when you only playing for a moment in the preseason and you don't play with the first unit, you're going to come out looking like this. So I'm not even surprised at Tate. I'm not mad at the young fella. Like you said, it was some communication issues. Yeah, just bad day for him. You know what I'm saying? I know he's going to be motivated to come out next game. That's not his personality. That's not how Tate gets down, man. But when it comes to the offensive line, it's just, you have to build that chemistry with the offensive line. Me looking at guys like Zeitler over on Tennessee just pissed me off yesterday. I'm not even gonna lie about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I said, a guy that you still could have, kept on the cheap. I mean, a big, huge human being like that who played well for you. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, we trying to save money to re-sign our entire team for some reason. So, like, we don't have to lose people in the future. So since we bring in the whole buddy list, I guess we can't afford some pennies. That's just how it is. So, yeah. As far as the protection goes overall, though, Mahogany was getting his ass whooped yesterday. Also, Graham Glasgow didn't have as bad as a game a lot of people was trying to paint him to have. He had some moments out there, but I mean, he had a pretty decent game. It almost looked like last season when he had to step up in that position. I mean, you asked him to play a position that he doesn't want to play. He said out of his own mouth that he really would like to just play right guard. But you asked him to do a service that, he's willing to do because that's just what he is. I mean, so I don't know what to tell you with that situation. Your best offensive lineman yesterday was the very one that everybody was ready to throw rocks at, which is Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker definitely looked healthy on film. He definitely looked a whole lot better. Dealing with guys like Rashawn Gary and Panay Sewell, dealing with guys like Micah Parsons. If you expecting perfection every single snap, you are a delusional person. Something is wrong with you. You need to get your head checked. This is Micah Parsons. This is Gary that we talking about. So, again, opposite of Green Bay, our play calling, we didn't get the ball out fast enough in situations. And then when we did, we got the ball out too fast in situations. There was a couple of instances where Jared Goff had the protection in front of him and didn't let the plays develop and just chucking it out there. You know what I'm saying? When you look behind and you see guys wide open developing in the latter part of these plays. So it's just like the chemistry's not there. It's so much to clean up. It is so much to clean up with the chemistry and trying to get these guys in sync. They had that, like I said, this week you got some time to put some work in, man. You got the Bears on the shortened week, and you got a pretty nice, you got a pretty regular week to work out. So, like I said, it's enough time for them to get these wrinkles under control before game 4 or 5. You know what I'm saying? But I still think we got enough fuel and enough firepower to be good this season. I really do. That's up to John Morton, man. You got to make better play calls. You can't go out here and run this vanilla Madden offense that we running, especially on first down situations. It's just like, hey, you just said, hey, everybody run to the first down line and stand there. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we can't do this. You know what I'm saying? We need some type of something. Give us something, man. And you come out of the gate, you don't run Jahmyr Gibbs out of the gate like that. You get a rhythm established, man. I know it's supposed to be Gibbs. He's supposed to be the one taking the keys or whatever. Fine. But in this situation, you know that their cream of the crop is their front seven. You're not going to run the ball well against them. You start with Montgomery. You do some pounding with Montgomery first. And then you bring the speedster in. That's what Ben Johnson did. That's what he understood. You don't start with Gibbs. It doesn't work that way. You know you're not going to create the holes. You don't have Ragnow and Zeitler. You're not going to create those type of holes. You got to pound these guys, put some wear and tear on them, and then you put the speedster in the game. Why do I have to say that as a fan? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just, man, like I said, multiple times I've seen J-Mo open opportunities. Laporta, the 2 times that you did throw it in the middle of the field. Now, I was saying this live on my stream on the watch party. We got to attack the middle of the field. I kept saying it, right? The 2 times you did it, Laporta, big plays. You see what I'm saying? So, like, it's simple things that can be adjusted. Simple things. And the Detroit Lions, they just have to do that. They have to take it upon themselves to do that, and I know they will. I know Washington's gonna be killing that O line. Man, they gonna have their own little mini camp. You know what I'm saying? But we just got to be better prepared. When it comes to Shep on the defense, man, you can't be that aggressive knowing you don't have the personnel. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna let your GM and your office, they gonna get you fired. That's what's gonna happen. If you want to last, you need to make some sound decisions out there, because you don't have the personnel to be doing some of the stuff that you're doing. You don't. At least yet. At least these guys ain't producing like that yet. So until you see that, I think you need to dial it down a little bit, because the Green Bay Packers ran the exact defense that you should have been running. Yeah. But with that said, man, make sure you guys check out Lions Roundtable tomorrow. Me, a dose of Dion, possibly another guest on the show tomorrow, 8 p.m. We're going to be talking about all of these things to get a little bit deeper. I know you guys want to see more clips, but I can only get away with so much on YouTube. So with that said, I appreciate you guys for swinging by and watching this Bears and this Vikings game. I've seen enough so far. The Lions definitely better take care of business next game. Caleb Williams is still running for his life, even though the Vikings act like they don't know what containment is and they just letting him run around. You learn how to contain. That's sacks all. They should at least have 5 sacks right now before the half. So, yeah. Anyway, but pretty much the same old with those two squads. Offensive line for the Vikings look a little bit shaky too. I'm talking too much, man. We'll talk tomorrow. Y'all go ahead, finish watching the game, whatever you're doing. Get some rest. I'll see you guys later. Peace.